good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Marvelous music. So guys, as the old saying goes, playing stupid games gives you stupid prizes. And of course, with a person like Brother Polight, he loves playing stupid games. And I'll tell you what I really mean by this, because somebody like Brother Polight, he's a gifted man when it comes to words or moving people's emotions, very similar to black pastors. We've heard people like Dr. Umar Johnson do this, people like Jay Morrison, people like 19 Keys, and they have what we consider the gift of gab. And when you have that gift of gab, you believe that you can do almost anything and nobody will absolutely understand what you're doing, and that everybody is drinking the Kool-Aid. And he's right to a certain degree. Certain folks are drinking the Kool-Aid. But the issue is you can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And that's the problem with Brother Polight. He felt that his Negro talking points and, believability, if that's a real word, would be able to get him out of trouble. And the reality is it cannot. Now, we all know what happened to Brother Polight recently. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want you to hear what he was just saying just last week before we get into today's message.
Blessings in abundance. The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge. I'm saying it again. The mother, the daughter, my accusers, in addition to the state, the prosecution, all agreed they need to drop all of the sexual charges. So yeah, it's a victory, but it's bittersweet. It's a victory because I was facing life. No parole, no probation. Now you may say, how could this be possible if a minor was so-called molested and it was DNA evidence? And people say DNA don't lie. And I always said, people do. Well, let's do this. The serologist, the expert that so-called found 6 semen stains amongst a headscarf and a t-shirt. Never mind the fact the whole kit said negative.
Yeah, that was Brother Polight last week, talking about how all of these charges were gonna be dropped. But then again, Brother Polight was back in court, and then we heard this verdict.
Then we will go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant will...
Would you say 10 years probation? 10
years reporting probation.
Okay.
The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, is the defendant's counsel going to be providing probation with the proof of the $5,000 being paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.9 3-1. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program. That you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you in fact affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noack. Isn't that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney.
Mr. Michael Noack will be getting booty clapping sounds. Ah, yes. Those cheeks are going to be clapped, bro. And I don't mean it to say it in a mean way, but those cheeks are going to be clapped because we know that a lot of guys in the system, firstly, you're an influencer, you're a very known guy, but you're going to depend for something like this. And, you know, you've been out here partying like, you know, there's no tomorrow. Maybe you were partying because you knew that you didn't have any other way to get around this, but you're going to do those 7 years for sure. And you're going to be a registered offender, if you know what I mean. But the reality is this is something that happens in Black America, and it happens amongst the pro-Black conscious community people, where people feel that they should be able to do anything they want to do. That is just period. A lot of people feel like they can do whatever they want to do. You can just scam. You can just be a sexual deviant. And the only thing that people should be able to do is to just listen to what you have to say. And as long as they're under my spell, I can get away with it. But that's what happened to Dr. Malachi York, another one of Brother Polight's mentors. He did the same thing allegedly, and he's still in jail. And you even have people right now talking about he's out of prison, but no, he's still there. All right. He did allegedly a lot of terrible things, I guess, like father, like son. And the reality is that there are checks and balances. Number one, it doesn't even need to be explained that messing with people underage is wrong. That's clearly the truth. But now let's just talk about your responsibility as a man that has multiple wives or things like that. When women trust you, okay, it wouldn't even matter to me if the daughter was of it. It's still wrong. All right. You have no business as a man. When you have your women that you're dealing with, you're supposed to be treating your women that you're in relationships with, or your wife, with some respect, and her daughter with some respect. You're not supposed to be trying to do things to a woman's daughter. I don't care if she's 30 and the mom is 50. It's just who does stuff like that? But you call yourself a leader. And a lot of Black men, I hate to say it, and men in general, you want to be leaders without putting in the work. You want to be leaders and feel like you can do whatever the hell you want to do, but you don't have no respect for yourself. You have to have a certain, and I can't even believe a guy like me is saying this, a guy who's coming from, you know, that kind of community in the past, but I'm going to say it and let it be very clear. You need to have a lot of respect for these women out here. I'm just going to say it. Okay. And this is not me simping. All right. You're a man. You have women that's in your life. Okay. That does not mean that just because you feel like you have the ability to sleep with them or you can, that you need to be. All right. And that goes especially for these guys who say they're leaders, pastors, people in the pro-black community. Listen, have some level of respect, not only for them, but for yourself as men. I'm just sorry. Like, yo, there's brothers out here doing all kind of stuff. Like, it happens in the church. It happens in these conscious communities. And then, you know what, well, her mom is my wife. I know a pastor, I won't call the name. This Negro used to say, every woman that is a part of my church belongs to me. This is a sick Negro. I won't even mention his name, because some of y'all have heard me even mention his name before. He's over there in the Heights still. Okay, I won't mention his name, but he had all kind of scandals. He lost everything he had because he was a sexual deviant. And some of y'all gonna just screw y'all way out of everything because you can't control yourself. Because booty is that important. If you just go to OnlyFans, get you some lotion. You know, go take care of yourself. Get you some other other things you can do to help yourself out. And 10-15 minutes. All right, you should be able to booty clapping sounds. And you should be able to take care of yourself instead of being polite and getting booty clapping sounds in prison. Because that's exactly what you're about to be getting, bro. That they're gonna take care of you. You're gonna listen. You're gonna have a nice time on the toilet. Trust me. Once they get through with you, bruh, you're. I just listen. You're gonna come out as from brother Polight to Polight Tisha. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Shay Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Junk. Before you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.